Well, hi everybody, this is Gadgets and Wheels, and yes, I am today for the first time in what seems like a lifetime, and in particular, probably about 5 months, I'm going to be going on a motorbike ride. Yes, indeed. So, I'm heading towards a place called Seaways Cafe, and it's a motorbikers cafe in North Yorkshire, and I've just put fuel in the bike and I am on my way, and I'm following the trusty old GPS to get me there. I was watching all the way through pretty much everybody's motor vlogs who I'm subscribed to, and one particular vlogger called Eric Buser, who also rides a GS, but he rides a GS Adventure. I've got to mention that, otherwise he won't be happy with me if I just say who rides a GS without adding the Adventure on, or as Eric calls it, the GS Adventurer. But anyway, he has a little mascot that he's had on his bike for years, and apparently has been to over, I think he said, over 19 countries with him on various trips he's gone on. It's a little frog, a little green frog called Freddy, and a couple of weeks ago when he was out on his bike, very sadly Freddy decided to jump off. Now I don't know whether that was because he'd become tired of Eric and decided to get off the bike and go and find a new life in the grass, or whether he had just come loose from his fastening on the front of the bike. But anyway, it seems that Freddy has gone, and Eric went back to look for him in a video, so you might want to go and check out some of his videos. Actually, there's some really good videos on the Eric Buser channel. That's Eric B-U-S-A on YouTube. It's a great channel to watch, particularly when he gets himself on his holidays this year. I think it's either June or July, I can't quite remember, but when he does that, he'll be out in I think he's going to France, possibly Germany, Italy, Switzerland, God knows. He gets himself all over the place actually, and one of these years I'll have to join up with him and go for a bit of a ride over there, because it looks like great scenery and some great roads. So I've seen that Extreme 601, who is another motor vlogger you probably already know, on YouTube, has got himself a new bike. He looks like a Triumph Tiger, I think is what he's got, and he always seemed to talk in the past about getting more of an enduro style bike. He liked his Phaser, but he wanted something different, and he's finally clearly gone for the plunge and got it. So I hope he enjoys it and gets himself out and does some touring and stuff, because that's what it's all about when you get a bike like that. Probably going to have to buy all the boxes and the bits and pieces to go with it now, which will cost him an arm and a leg on top of what he's already spent. And also I was watching a video from Giza Goable, I think his YouTube name is. I can never quite remember the way it's pronounced, or even spelled for that matter, but I think it's Giza Goable. If you want to go and check him out on YouTube, he's been in another accident, and he kind of put a very brief video up there about 2 weeks ago and explained that he's going to take quite a long time to heal up and recover from it. Yeah, Giza Goable on YouTube, go and check him out, and my best wishes to you, Phil, for your recovery. And I've also been watching quite a bit of the old NT8, Navy Thomas 8 on YouTube. He's been he left his job I think it must be about, was it 3 months ago now? I can't quite remember actually. Time just seems to fly on by, but it may have been longer than that actually. Can't remember. But he left his job that he was doing for the Homeland Security in the airports, working nights, and since then he's been doing 1 or 2 trips to visit some other motor vloggers here and there, and I think he's got some others planned as well, so you may want to go out and check his channel out. That's Navy Thomas 8 NT8. Everybody's slowing down. Lean and counter steer. Oh, as she going? Lean and counter steer. So we're just around the corner now, I think, from the Seaways Cafe, Seaways Motorbiking Cafe. Well, I've just left the Seaways Biker Cafe there in Friday-thorpe in Yorkshire and in England here, and I'm just sort of heading out on some of the back roads now just to have a little look at these and see what these are like. It's going to be a bit of a long vlog today. Crikey, this is a bit gravelly around here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yes, I can feel the wheels sort of wobbling there a little bit. I didn't want to lean into that corner too much. This is where the suspension on the GS comes into its own on these bumpy old roads. So yeah, I've just been to the Seaways Cafe there, biker cafe. It's really good. Got chatting to 1 or 2 bikers, and they were all very friendly. Very good place to go if you're in ever this area and you want to visit somewhere en route. Then I can recommend it. Make nice cups of tea and all the rest of it there as well. A bit of a cafe and worth a visit. So yeah, I've just been there and seen quite a few different bikes. Actually, I was chatting to a guy who had a Goldwing. And I was chatting to a guy who, I didn't know which bike, I couldn't tell which bike he said he was riding now, but he comes from from Hull, Hessel in Hull, and then the other guy came with the Goldwing came from Bridlington, and both very nice guys to chat to, and they're out making the best of the sunny weather. So I just thought I'd come on some of the little back roads here, rather than staying on the main roads, just for a bit of fun really. I mean, they're got to just be a bit careful on the corners, because on the bends, because they are a bit gravelly, these roads, and I don't want to be dropping the bike. The sun is shining up there in the dull grey sky. It's about one of the best days we've had weather-wise this year, I suppose, although we did have 1 or 2 a few weeks ago when I couldn't get out on the bike. Certainly my best bike day so far. Some fantastic views around here if you could see over the hedgerows here. I've gone from using the GPS which I was using before, which is the car one I mentioned earlier, which I couldn't see the screen on at all. The one I'm using now in the in the holder here is the Samsung Galaxy S4. I had to think then, I was thinking GS in my head. Galaxy S4, and you can see the screen actually really well on this one. But I guess it's using the power up really quickly, so I need to get a little lead that I can plug in to keep it charged when I'm on the move. But I think this is the one I will use, my phone, my new Galaxy S4 phone. Hey, there is some really nice places around here, some really interesting roads, although absolutely full of gravel. Got to be really careful on the old gravel around here, but there are some excellent little places and spots around here. Very relaxing, nice and easy, the sort of Sunday afternoon ride out you want to have. It's about 4:30 here now, so still, for a summertime, it's still quite early in the afternoon, and or in the light hours, I suppose. There's about another 3.5, 4 good light hours, but I'm sort of generally heading back home now, in that direction anyway. Wouldn't it be great if you could travel everywhere on roads that were this clear? Apart from the gravel on here, these roads will be really excellent for motorbiking. A whole range of bikes there at the Seaways Cafe. The JSXR seemed to be very popular. There were lots of those. There were 3 or 4 GS's, BMW 1200 GS's there. Lots of older bikes, Triumphs, 1 or 2 Harleys. A whole range of bikes out today, and a whole range of bikers. But it kind of made me, it was sort of an interesting, I checked to see the kind of age group of a lot of the people who were out there today, and probably most of them were in their 40s and 50s, I would imagine, and I was sort of interested to see what the general age group of the average biker at the biker cafe was, and it is in sort of generally 40s and 50s actually, so probably a little bit different balance to the motovlogging community, which seems to be, there seems to be a lot more younger people getting involved in motovlogging, so I suppose there's a bit of an imbalance there between the general bikers and the motovloggers. I also realised that I had the drift camera set slightly off kilter, so I'm hoping now I've adjusted the angle of the dangle, and that you can see things a little bit better than you could when I was talking earlier before I went to Seaways. I always forget this. I'm kind of relearning actually today on the bike a lot of, not necessarily how to ride the bike, but I'm learning a lot more about the sort of running of the bits and pieces of extra technology that you have to remember just how to set up, particularly with the drift camera. You've got to get the lens in just the right way, and you've got to make sure the mic's plugged in properly, and you've got to make sure that the lens is clean, and there are so many things you've got to remember that you're just bound to forget something, and to change the battery over and all that sort of malarkey. And I just, oh hang on, I've come wrong way now. I'm bloody chatting on here like a lunatic, and I've come wrong fucking way. Right, it's telling me to do a U-turn. A U-turn? Oh well, I'll keep going on here. It's probably going to take me somewhere. guessing there's going to be lots and lots of people out today on the bikes. I know that, as I mentioned before, the guys down there at the BMF bike show, they're there over the weekend, and I imagine they'll be packing up their tents and heading off home today, unless they, I don't know if they can stay one more night. I can't remember from last year what the length of time people actually stay there was. I think we left on the Sunday, I think, when I was there last year. Just a bit of a chance, I guess, to get together and do a bit of camping and have a bit of a chat with some of the other motor vloggers. Jeez. Jesus. Oh, didn't like the way he came at me there. That unnerved me a little bit. Seemed to be going at pretty high speed. Didn't seem to be able to control his car when he got there, and I thought, is he going to come my way even further? I suppose that's the only disadvantage of roads like this. You really are going down pretty much a single track, and there's always going to be some boy racer type coming the other way. For those viewers in America, this kind of area here is all around the city of York in England, and there's a fair bit of history around these places. These little back roads heading down towards the city of York. Lots of history that I haven't got a bloody clue to tell you about, really, but hey ho, tally ho, as the Jedi UK would say. Tally ho, old bean. It would be quite an interesting project to set up a UK weekend of ride-outs for people from around the world to come and visit if they were interested, because we've got some really good roads here, and you know, a lot of people go to the Isle of Man, and actually there's a heck of a lot of good roads around here too, and it would be good to have some kind of international biker or motor vlogger meetup to get some of the guys from the States to come over, and of course they'd probably have to hire bikes, which would be a bit awkward, I guess, but it'd just be an interesting thing, and then maybe a few years after do the same thing in the States or something like that. That'd be quite an interesting thing, and it'd be an expensive trip, but if it was planned out well, it could be a really once in a lifetime type of trip, couldn't it? You know, there's so many places to come and see around here. If any of those guys in the States who watch some of my videos, if you would be interested in something like that, then let me know, and maybe we can talk about it. Jeez. And I think at this stage I will call it a day for today on this vlog, because I think I've completely run out of things to say, and I don't want to bore you with any more of my ramblings on. So apologies for it being such a long time since I last did a video, and thank you for watching this one. If you've got to this stage at the end of the video, 10 out of 10 for you, and ride safe out there, because there are lots of things going on at the minute, and lots of people getting shunted and knocked off and falling off their bikes and stuff, so just ride safe out there, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.